Hello, hello, hello. I think we're live. I'm just double checking. I'm getting started here a little bit early, a couple of minutes early. Yeah, everything seems to be good. Let me just down the volume there. Now, as you can see, real quick, let me throw in this at the start. This is presented by the EA Creator Network, Content Creator Network, formerly the EA Game Changers program, which means, of course, that this pack was provided free of charge for review and play purposes. Right. So I might repeat that here in a little bit after I send out these sort of notices that we are actually online enrolling. Make sure that we get all of our disclosures down where they belong. I'm going to send out a couple of quick posts here real quick that we're live, that we're ready to go. We're going to take a look today at San Sequoia. I keep wanting to call it actually San Mateo. It reminds me more of San Mateo there, south of San Francisco than anything else. But it is San Sequoia. Drop this. We're going to start up Reg here. We're going to use Reg and his baby Max. Max is an infant. It's my typical family here, of course, in The Sims that I use all the time for all sorts of different purposes. Reg and Max. Max is now an infant. Max started off as a child. He dropped down to a toddler, excuse me, at one point when toddlers were launched. And now he gets to be an infant. Now that infants have launched, we're going to wake him up here in a minute and strap him on our back and head out. Once again, I'm going to reiterate before we get started here, and then I'm going to take the big presented by EA Creator Network sign off of the screen. This is presented by the EA Creator Network, formerly the EA Game Changers program. In conjunction with, I should say, I'm actually presenting it. I'm presenting it in conjunction with the EA Creator Network, which means, of course, that this pack was provided free of charge for review and play purposes, because I do get to keep it forever. And we're going to look through it here today. Let's see here. Let me drop in here real quick, and we're going to I don't know if I'm going to just make it, maybe I'll make it smaller, because I can't remember with like live streaming if I have to leave it up through the whole thing. I don't want to get this wrong. If this was a video, I think I can drop it pretty quickly, but with a live stream, I think maybe we're supposed to leave it on through the whole stream. So I'm going to go just put it there by my face, right? By my face. But make it smaller. Hopefully it will not be too much in the way. Now, Reg is going to put on some clothes here. Let's see. Change his outfit into something presentable. I did put him, this is the only thing I've looked up so far in this pack, Growing Together. I went through the clothes a little bit, and I picked out this sort of hoodie for him, you know. I didn't like a lot of the clothes. Now, this is not to look at the cast system, but I didn't like a lot of the clothes in this because they looked really baggy. Everything looked very baggy and very oversized. Like nothing was a sort of trim fit or a fitted look. It was all just huge on him. Maybe there was one shirt that wasn't, but pretty much everything else. I mean, I like the style of the stuff, just not the way it fit. So we're going to go with this hoodie today. And here we go, put Max in his back carrier. I think there's a way I can change the back carrier, but so far I haven't looked it up. I'm really seriously just getting started with this pack. Let's see here. I was out of town when it first, launched, and the first week since I've been back, I've been at work. It's been crazy. So I have not had time to really look at it at all. So this is my first view of it. And we're going to start with the world. I love that. I love infants so far. We'll say that. Again, not much of experience with them yet, but they are so cute. They are just adorable. San Sequoia. Okay, here we go. San Sequoia. There are 3 neighborhoods here in San Sequoia, which unless you have been in a coma for the last 2 weeks, you already probably know that from social media, right? There are 3 neighborhoods. There are 12 lots, 4 lots in each neighborhood. I think we'll start here at the top and work our way around kind of clockwise like so. So we'll start with Anchor Point Wharf, go over to Gilbert Gardens, finish off here at Hopewell Hills. Now, this is supposed to be a sort of, I don't know. I think it's supposed to be a sort of suburban, mid-sized city type of place, right? Maybe supposed to be based on the more suburban areas of the San Francisco Bay region. That's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to guess. By the way, if you see me glancing over, I do try to check chat every so often so I can respond if someone's over there. I don't catch it automatically, but I do check on it every so often. Okay, so we're looking at sort of south of San Francisco Bay. That's what I think. Like I said, this reminds me more like this area kind of reminds me more of San Mateo than really San Francisco. But that's where we are. It's a very small world. Only 12 lots, only 3 neighborhoods, but it's typical. It's what we've kind of gotten used to. I'm going to send them here to this empty lot to begin with. This neighborhood has an empty lot. I think it was 20 by 30. A lot of the lots are 20 by 30. We do have a couple of 50 by 40 lots, though, and a 64 by 64 lot coming up, so that's great. Also, I believe, well, I know 3 of these lots, like 3 of the houses, I guess, were made by Simmers, of course, naturally, Delagracie, and Little Simsy are 2 of those 3, which is no surprise to anyone. Then the third one, I really don't remember what their name was. I think the Sims sent out a single post, and I don't remember what the name was. I don't know what lots they made. I don't know if they even said what lots they created. Because, yeah, it's not sticking with me. I don't know. I assume 3 of the houses, right? So I'm going to see real quick. Uh-oh. I don't have MC Command Center set here, so I guess we're going to do it in the rain. I was going to change the weather, but oh well. Now, one thing right off the bat, I'll say, this is an empty lot, so let's look at the neighborhood real quick. Since we really don't have to tour the lot, I love this. I love this subway setup here, like the San Francisco BART system, which stands for the Bay Area Rapid Transit, by the way, if you're ever wondering why they call it BART, which is a really nice subway system. It goes a few places, several places. I've used it. I thought it was nice. I did like it. I thought it was actually pretty clean. You know, pretty nice setup. The employees that work there, I had a little trouble with something. I can't remember what, but I went and talked to the guy at like the little, counter. He was super nice, really nice people there. San Francisco is really a beautiful town. Like I said, this doesn't strike me as San Francisco really, but San Francisco is a really beautiful town. I highly recommend visiting it. And don't believe all the crap you hear about like homelessness and crime. I hardly saw any of that. And what I did see certainly wasn't any worse than my own city of Oklahoma City, which is far smaller out here in the Midwest. It was I said Oklahoma City probably looks worse than San Francisco. But I love this sort of mock-up of a subway, which I think might act as a spawn point. Now, leading out from here, I think this is a lot over here. This is going to be a rabbit hole to go see a movie. So it's like a rabbit hole kind of setup, which I don't love rabbit holes. I've mentioned that before numerous times, all the way through The Sims 3. I mentioned it, but at least it is something. I'm going to say that. I mean, if we're at a point where that's just where we are with this game, I do like the fact that they do that to some extent. So we can at least maybe send Sims there for storytelling or something, right? Now with me, I might still try to create a real movie theater somehow. I don't know. Maybe shrink this down using the tool mod or something, stick it inside another building, and that looks like a movie theater and blah, blah, blah. But that's the movie theater. We have what looks like a residential lot over here. Standard residential, again, 30 by 20. I think this is a library. That's a library, which we're going to look at next. But I want to say right off the bat, is that a lot too? That's another residential lot over here. So everything's pretty compact here. I mean, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, pretty close proximity. I will say right off the bat, I'm not real sure why we needed a library. We have an absolutely massive recreational center in this city. And I think, I don't know why we have libraries half the time in the game, except that it's a base game lot and they're kind of limited to just base game and whatever's in the new pack as far as lots to use when building out of town. But I just don't think I never go to the library. Let's put it that way. I never use the library. I just put a bookshelf at home and a computer at home. But that is going to be the library. It looks a little small for the size of this town as well. But what can I say? They had a 30 by 20 lot. So that's, what are you going to do? Waste a larger lot on a giant library? Nah. Like I say, you don't even need it. But we'll take a look at it here in a minute. I mean, right off the bat, it looks okay. Looks pretty good. I like this part, the bridge across. That's very cool. I'd probably make this like a pretend road running underneath it, so that way Sims don't drive, but that way in real life, like you could drive under it to drop people off and pick people up, right? So if it's raining, like it is now in the game, you could drive under there and drop your kids off at the library while you go do something else. So let's take a look real quick at our first. Well, no, let's go to the library next. That's where I was going to head next. Was over to the library. Let's just head over there with Max, of course. There we go. And we'll see what this library looks like on the inside. Like I said, I am not going to keep it. I mean, I know that right off the bat. Like I said, I don't need a library. I don't usually use, I can't tell you the last time I went to a library. Probably when we only had the base game. It would have been that time. I might have gone to the library because there wasn't much else. And I know with this being a family pack, they probably didn't want to put another bar here. But I probably would put a bar here, something like that, a lounge. Or nothing. Maybe something that looks like some townhouse type housing or apartment type housing. So we've got this. Oh, hey, look. Now I do like this right off the bat. I got a little place here to put the baby, right? And this is cute. Now, a lot of this stuff, of course, is from Impact. That's a super cute tree. I love that. It's a base game graphic. Very cool. They put in a coffee pot, which is really nice, and a TV. I'm going to put the baby down here. Let's put Max down there. So I do like that right off the bat. There's a place to bring infants here to the library, naturally. Being an infant kind of inspired pack. Kind of expect that, but still nice that they did think about it. They don't always think of stuff, so, it's got a little lobby here. I mean, for a library, so far, what can I say? It looks good enough, right? Looks good enough for a library. Got some computer stations, and I do like this. This is really cool. This is going to be like the kids area. Again, a place to put the baby down. Place for toddlers to come and play maybe on these sort of seats. One thing I would do now, of course, I have all the packs. I have to remember that touring these things. I might put more stuff here for the kids to do and toddlers to do, but I do have all the packs, and they're dealing with just base game and what comes here with growing together, sort of Max's team or whoever made this. But it looks good. I don't have any complaints with it. It definitely looks pleasant enough. Upstairs here, we've got some more computer stations, bookshelves, and the like. There's not a lot to say or see or do here. Again, I like this bridge across. That's very cool. I like that sort of design aspect of it. I do think that's a very cool design feature. Love the little fence down there to keep the kids in, keep them corralled like a bunch of cattle, because they are wild. They'll disappear, run out in the street, get themselves killed. So yeah, it's a nice library. Love the skylights on it. Love the bridge across. There's a lot of good things to say about it design-wise. In fact, for Max is pretty good, really. Sometimes, and the roof looks good, right? Sometimes some of those Max's builds have some crazy looking stuff going on. So this one looks pretty good. I'm not going to, if I keep it, I'll tell you what I would do. If I kept it, I probably would rehab it substantially into something else, but I probably won't. I'll probably eventually take it down and replace it with whatever I think I need in the town. Now, that was pretty quick. Let's go check out a house. Let's check out this house over here. We're going to visit with Max. We'll head out. Now, again, 3 people made houses in this game, I guess. So, 3 simmers. So, you know, if I say something, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. We'll see here. This, I will say this right now, right off the bat, I do like this. This is a very cool exterior design. Very modern. I like modern styles. I like a lot of styles, but I do like this modern style they've got here. This is super cool. Love this back part here, this little balcony. Right off the bat, I do really like this house. This has a very cool modern suburban style. This actually looks like kind of a modern suburban house. They're starting to build some houses kind of like this in my area. We're getting back to a sort of modern or sort of mid-century modern aesthetic. And this looks really, really good. Right off the bat, that's all I can say is that it does just look really good. Now, I don't think anybody lives here, so we're probably going to have to go through build mode to actually see the inside. But from the outside, oh, that looks good. It's got a nice porch overhang. I can't find anything wrong with this so far from the outside. It looks good. It looks nice. So whoever made this, whether it was a simmer or Maxis themselves, did a great job on it. Let's go in here and check out from build mode. And it's got a good view too. Wouldn't you love to live here and have the view of that bridge? I'd love that. That looks so cool. I also like this setup back here. I guess, can we go back here? I'm in build mode. I can't check. I think we can go back here. I don't think we can go out on the wharf though, or the dock. I don't think we can go there. Here in a minute, I might take a look around and see what we can and can't actually access. Let's go down here, take off the grid. Now, so we've got kind of a loft sort of entertainment center, right? Or entertainment area. You've got a little bar, little place to hang out, the aforementioned balcony. Again, this is just using growing together assets and base game assets. And I'll tell you, really, for base game and growing together, the exterior of the structure does look really, really good. It can be tough, you know, to working with just a limited amount of things, and it looks good. Some of this stuff obviously comes with this new pack with this sort of subway tile looking tile, which looks awesome. I'm glad there's a bathroom up here. Someone like myself, I probably would put like a guest bedroom up here in the loft, or at least make it do double duty with a Murphy bed, right? In the loft. Down here on the first floor, I don't know how many bedrooms this is supposed to have. I didn't catch that when I came this way. But it looks like it's got a couple of bedrooms here. This one does not have an ensuite bath. I would probably make it an ensuite bath. Put another door here or here, maybe rearrange it a little bit. But it's a good design. There's nothing wrong with it. I do love this. This reminds me of when I was little. When I was a kid, my brother and I had this same setup. So we had 2 rooms, right? And there was a door between the rooms. And rather than have 2 separate bedrooms, we had a playroom and the room where we slept. And we had bunk beds, much like this, right? Our bunk beds were a little bit different, but we had bunk beds. And so I really do like that. That reminds me a lot when I was a kid. And that, I think, is a good setup because kids oftentimes when they're little, they'll end up sleeping together anyway. You know, if they're right next to each other in rooms or something, they get scared, they get worried, they want to go in and sleep with their brother, right? Or sleep with their sister or whatever. Kind of have a little security there. We've got a nursery here, which is good. And let me say something real quick. Super smart. Like, I love this, okay? Because, again, I don't know if Maxis made this. I'm going to guess a simmer made this. Maxis might have done it, but this is super smart. It's got the nursery off of the master bedroom, and it really looks like the nursery could have been a walk-in closet. So it's the sort of thing where someone would own this house. they get pregnant. They think, hey, I do not want to walk all the way across the house to take care of that baby, right? So let's move the master closet stuff somewhere else because we only go in the closet once a day to grab clothes. And let's put the baby there. And that's actually a really good idea for a quick nursery, right? A quick nursery in real life. That's what I would do as well. Put the baby close because you're going to be up and down all night long. That's great. I love that. I think it's a fantastic design. Got a great little ensuite bath here. I, again, have not a single thing wrong with this build. I love this build. This is one I would keep. And now it's rare that I say that. It really is rare that I say that, you guys. But this one is one that I would keep. I like the outside, and I really like the inside. So we've got basically a 2 to 3 bedroom house here, depending on how you look at it. Definitely enough room for 2 kids, the baby, and 2 parents, so 5 people. It is also got a nice sort of family room, and I guess you could use this for games, like a game table. And over here, a kitchen with an eat-in dining area for the kitchen. Really nice design. Super, super cool. Really, really like this. This is just a... Oh, okay. So Love and Sims is saying Delicacy built this one. Okay. I kind of guessed it had to be a Simmer because it was so good. This is really a good house. Kudos to Delicacy. This is a really well thought out home. Like I said, it's kind of rare that I would say that I would keep a house in this game. This one I would keep. I really, 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 really like the way this is built. I didn't know who built it, but yeah, if Delicacy built... Delicacy... I'm not Australian. I can't say that well. But since she built it, kudos to her. It's a gorgeous house. It really is. And not just does it look good. I mean, color-wise and design-wise, decor-wise, it looks quite good. The layout of it is very, very, very good. I am super, super impressed. And yeah, I like that house a lot. I really do. She did a great job. Really great job. Okay, so that's a keeper. That's a keeper. Now we're going to go out here real quick, and while we're here, we're going to see how far can I get around this. So I can go there. Can I go over here? I can go all the way over there. Got kind of a built-up area here, and go over there. Looks like you got kind of a wide area, at least, so you can kind of walk around. Not over in this area. That's all kind of closed off. That's fine. I didn't really expect it to be open. We can go here. It's a nice looking little sort of festival area. I wonder if food carts ever pop up here. That would be really cool if they did, especially being right next to the movie theater. If they don't, I probably would use a tool mod to put a food cart or 2 over here. And then you could, if you didn't want to turn, like, say, the library into a like a restaurant or something, you could still kind of have dinner and a date by using the food carts to kind of grab some dinner and then go to the movies, right? So that'd be kind of cool. We are going to see all of this, I think, is open, sure. The park area, not that, but all the park area through here is open. That's neat. Do a little busking later. At the piano. I don't know how well the piano is going to hold up in this rain. It's not an electronic piano, so at least it won't short out. But I don't know if I'd leave an upright piano out in the rain. I still love this. Just seeing it and passing by it. I hope it's a debug item. I have not had a chance to look at the debug stuff yet. But I would put these like in San Myshuno and a few other, like Del Sol, a few other places. Just for the look, because it has a great subway look. DC subway looks a lot like this too. Washington, D.C. has these sort of glass enclosures over them, and you head down into the subway and off you go. And off Reg is going to go over here to this other house. We're going to visit this residence with little Max here. This is a 50 by 40 lot, I think. So a pretty good sized lot. Okay, so Brian has been feeling really cheerful lately. Things are going well. And Brian, should he embrace the change? Yes, he should. He is a cheerful person. Brian Reginald, who I call Reg a lot, actually is kind of the sim me in game, right? This is a character I made kind of for myself. Max represents my son. My son's real name, of course, is Nolan, but I named him Max in the game. And a lot of the things that Reg and Max do in the game kind of are based on my son and I. We'll see if someone lives here and we can knock on the door and go inside. We can, so we're going to head over there. Where's that baby? Where did I leave him? Oh, there he is. He's in his arms. Okay. Incoming phone call from Marcelo. Yeah, sure. Go have a date with Alec. Don't leave the baby out in the rain. See, he's as bad as a Sims 3 sim. I'm gonna say he's as bad as a Sims 3 sim. Just lay that baby out in the rain. He's fine. He's not gonna catch pneumonia. He's not gonna catch a disease. Come over here and pick this baby up. Let me see here. Bring inside. Yes, Reg, bring the baby inside, out of the storm, out of the rain. I think that this place, as I recall, I haven't looked at things very much. I think this place had the earthquake trait, like lot trait. And really, they should probably put the earthquake lot trait on every lot, for this neighborhood, for this town. Well, let's take a look at our house here. This looks like a pretty good house from the start here. Nothing really wrong with it. Let me take a look at the exterior. Whoops, let's see here. I mean, I like it. It's okay. I probably would change a few things about it. It's got this kind of style. I get that they're probably going for this idea of it's been built onto over time. Is that kind of the thing, maybe? Or like maybe there was originally this house and then they built this part onto it, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe it was two houses and they just linked them together. I love the materials they used for it. There is that. And I love the porch here to the side. I actually kind of like this little house here. I mean, it's in blue, for God's sakes. No, we have so much blue. So many blue houses. But blue is pretty. The blue is pretty. I would make a few changes to something like this. I don't think it may not stay here for very long. I'll probably change it. This would be a great place also for maybe a restaurant or retail outlet, overlooking the water kind of here in the center of town. The town looks really big, which I don't know. I mean, it looks really big. I don't really know that it feels that big. To me, it feels a little bit like every other town so far. We just have a bunch of single-family homes and a community lot and a park and kind of this typical setup. And that is one thing I'll say real quick. Taking a bunch of like medium density or high density shells and a sort of urban wallpaper to put around the whole place doesn't really make it a city or make it feel like a city. In a lot of ways, this still feels to me like kind of a small town. A lot of Sim stuff feels very small town to me. But let's look at the house here. Inside too, it does have kind of that feel of two kind of separate houses that kind of ended up connected together. Like, especially with this part right here, that looks like that would have been the connection. There's some houses in Oklahoma City like that. That I've seen that's the same way. It was two houses side by side and they just built a connection and turned two lots and two houses into one house. Otherwise, it seems okay. There's not anything really wrong with it. I don't like it as much as Delicacy's house, I'll say that. It's not probably my favorite. One thing that, again, to me, it's almost just too much of these different styles cobbled together. It doesn't really feel suburban, and it doesn't feel retro, and it doesn't feel rehabbed. It does feel like it would be in an old neighborhood. Now, I'll say that. It feels like it'd be in a really old neighborhood, especially with this part here. That particularly looks like a much older house. And someone came in and added, the house onto it. And that's part of why it makes it feel more small town to me. Suburbs are usually new. Suburbs and suburban areas are usually all new housing, all new shopping, stuff like that. Sometimes you might have a suburban area with a little core rural town in the middle, but I don't know. This really just spells out. This is part of why it feels to me more like a small town. It feels like someone moved into a small town where they don't have any building codes, and so they were able to just build onto this small house. It's not awful though, and I don't know how much it cost. It's got a lot of space, you guys, like a whole lot of space. This really feels like a Maxis build to me because it has so much space. Maxis makes bathrooms like this. Okay, Maxis makes bathrooms that are larger than bathrooms most of us have ever seen, right? I mean, in reality, you've got a really large bedroom, which is not too bad, but then you've got this giant bathroom. And I mean, this is bigger than my master bath, right? In a suburban home. So this makes me think it's a Maxis build for that reason. Over here, we've got another. This is more of a normal size bathroom. A little more of a normal size bathroom. Still kind of big for the type of bathroom it is. Still kind of big, which is, again, kind of speaks to me that it's a Maxis build. But it's an okay house. It's okay. I think it's all right. I don't think I would use it. I don't. It's got a big lot, though. It's got a huge lot. And it'll go to good use. I think I don't know what I'd put here, but it's a big lot. Probably something else. Okay, and that's about it for this neighborhood. I mean, again, you only have 4 lots. One of them's empty. It's a pretty quick tour. We're going to move over to whatever that other neighborhood was called. We'll see here in a second, right? They did put the treehouse in, which is cool. There's enough room there for the treehouse. Treehouse takes up a lot of room. I have looked at that already. And that treehouse takes up a huge amount of room. Now we're coming up on this, Gilbert Gardens, which, by the way, I love the little whale. Who doesn't love that whale? Everybody loves it. Gilbert Gardens is really the area that I built the most, all my lots for. I built a starter lot and then a move up, sort of typical American suburban, and then an estate. And I built a sort of retail commercial sort of lot, which is not finished, for here on this place, this 40 by 20 lot, which is a little odd. In fact, I'll pull it up real quick and I'll show you. That'll give us something to tour. I'll pull it up here and let's see this here. I think it's called Inner Circle because I think I built it on the lot Inner Circle. I did not name it that. And I really don't want it oriented that way. I'm going to try turning it around. Hopefully I can turn it without it erasing a bunch of stuff. We'll see. I built it with the idea of it being this way, though. And so it's got kind of a Spanish, sort of revival, Spanish colonial feel, but in kind of the way a commercial district does it. More of a shopping center type of feel than a real, what can I say? Than a real sort of authentic Spanish style. The house I did for the estate has more of an authentic Spanish revival style. This sort of stuff, though, is supposed to look more like a shopping center. When I first built it, my thought was kind of, each of these little windows here would be a sort of shop stall, right? It was going to be kind of a marketplace, a festival marketplace sort of setup where you'd have like 4 little vendors here, or maybe a food stall, right? And then I got to thinking, well, you could use this as a restaurant. This would be where you come in, you could put a kitchen here, you put tables here, tables out here overlooking the water. And so, yeah, I haven't really decided what to do with it yet, but that was what I built for the 40 by 20 lot. It was the last thing I started on. It's not anywhere near done, but I think it would be kind of pretty for this, for this area. I don't know if it matches enough with the area, especially, but I don't know. The area is kind of a mishmash of stuff, so maybe it would. Got kind of modern, kind of traditional, and then, some Willow Creek houses over here, One thing I love about this area, though, is that we have Wellbert here and the splash pad. I was really thrilled to find out this stuff is all available to use elsewhere because I'm going to build a splash pad actually in San Myshuno. Reg and Max live in San Myshuno in the Spice District, and they always have. So my growing together story will take place there. And I want to build a sort of splash pad over there in the Spice District, right? But it is cute. This is a really cute setup. I love the way this looks. This is a very... This to me feels more urban than the whole rest of what we've seen so far. This looks a lot like an urban sort of park for the kids to play in. Like you'd find downtown stuff like that. We're going to take a look here. Let's pull out a little bit. I don't know how far afield. You can obviously walk around here. Can you walk over here? No. This is all sealed off, which is kind of too bad. I mean, I will say this. It would have been nice if, you know, we could go down here and swim. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I know swimming off the coast of San Francisco is freezing ass cold most of the time. Yes, I know that. But still, Sims don't care, and it would have been cool maybe if they could do it. Or maybe if they could do it for a little while, and then they get really cold, and you have to get them out of the water before they die. That would have been cool, too. So we can't go over there. We can go kind of in this area. We can go up to here. And kind of over here. So we've got kind of a far field of travel. I don't know. Let's see here. Where are the lots? Oh, here's a lot. Okay, so here's one of the lots in this area. Little house, little suburban house. I've got something to replace that with. I think that's the other one. Again, again, not really a suburban house. It looks a little older to me. Like this looks really older. Again, that's why I feel like this is kind of a small town or an older town than a suburb because there's so much old stuff around. It's not a bad town though. I'll say that real quick, and I've got something for this as well. I mean, it's not a bad town. Does it look pretty? Does it look well, you know, laid out, well designed like the Sims worlds usually are? Yeah, it does. It does. Does it look like an urban center or anything different really than what we typically get? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But you know, that is okay. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, really. I'm really not. I'm probably not going to play here much, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I might use a movie theater here for dates. That would be fun. That sounds fun. Let's visit that place with Max over there. We'll take a look at the house, and then I'll show the house I'm going to replace it with after that. Let's see here. So we have Parkside Plate. This is also a Quake zone. Good thinking, given where you are, right? This is a pretty cute house. This is a pretty cute house. I do like this. You know, this one seems a little more modern to me, though, too. Let me say that. This one does seem a little more like a modern suburban. And it is cute. I do like it. Take a quick look at the exterior here. Yeah, I mean, I do like it. Actually, reminds me a lot of Delicacy's house over in the other neighborhood. Did she make this one too? Did she design all of them? Did she do the whole town? It does look, it reminds me of that, but it's got a good look to it. Can we knock on the door? We can. No one lives here. So we'll have to go into build mode and kind of check it out, which we're getting ready to do. I like the use of the windows and stuff too. It looks, like I said, it looks really good. It does. I do like it. I almost feel bad about knocking it down. Not so bad I'm not going to do it. I guess I wouldn't have to. But not so bad I'm not going to do it. But it's a cute house. Let's go in and look at it through build mode here. Someone did do a good job on this house. Whether it was Maxis or someone else. How big's the bathroom? Yeah, this is probably a Maxis build. It's got that giant bathroom. The rest of us would make it like this big, you know. Maxis makes it this big, so it's probably a Maxis build. But what can I say? The outside looks really, really good. The inside I do like. It's got a nice setup here. Got the baby chair next to the table. Baby high chair. It's got a nice door out to this sort of courtyard area, a little place to hang out, fenced in so baby can't get out. And a nice kitchen. I mean, it's a small build. It's not going to take us very long. The nursery is right next to the bedroom. It's great in that you do have 2 bedrooms here. This is big enough a kid could grow into it. And 1 bath. I didn't see if this was starter price. Let me see how much it costs here. Oh, it is. So this is starter price as well. So I would also say, I mean, for a modern exterior on a 30 by 20 lot and stuff, you know, this is not bad for a starter price. Now, one thing that's missing to me when I build a home is I do try to put in at least a computer and a bookshelf, right? So that there's some skill building elements in here. At this price tag with a family of 3, though, you could probably buy some skill building items depending on what you want to do. So it's not as though. Oh, okay. So this one was by Simlicy. Okay, are they related? Is Deligracy and Simlicy related? I don't know. I don't know if they are, but their name sounds remarkably similar. Simlicy did a good job. Like I said, I do like this exterior style very much. I didn't even know she built one, though. I thought there was only 3 people that built one, and I know one of them was Little Simsy and one of them was Deligracy. And then I thought there was like a smaller builder, like a more unknown builder that they chose this time, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was Simlicy or something. I don't know. But I do recognize her name, so that makes me think like it wasn't her, because I would think I would remember it, but not necessarily. Not necessarily. I don't remember a lot of things. That could be one of them. It's a nice build, though. I think it is. I do like it. I can't find a lot of fault with. Like I said, I feel almost kind of a little bad that it's going to get knocked down. Not so bad that I'm not going to do it. But it's a nice setup. It's a nice design, especially the exterior. I would say that I like the exterior. I might do the interior a little different, but I really like the exterior. Really nice style. Really nice style. Now, this is what I'm going to put in its place. I hope I've got it. I work on 2 different computers, so sometimes I think it's this one here. I hope it's done. Is it finished? I think it's finished. I think this is the finished version. Let's hope it's the finished version. This is my Spanish colonial tract. Now, this is a starter home done in the Spanish revival or Spanish colonial style. But since it's a starter, of course, it doesn't have a lot of details to it. This everything I'm using so far is all base game, right, as well. So there's no other packs included. With another pack, I probably would do something different with this starter. But given that I did not have any other packs, I wanted it to be base game. Anybody can use it, and they can go in and change things depending on what kind of packs they have. I kind of did it like that. In my area, being a starter, you typically would have an actual garage where I live because everybody has a car. But in this case, with it being a starter, I did just a carport, right? Which, again, this is supposed to be growing with a family as they grow these 3 houses I did. This is something that might have been in the late 70s, right? The late 70s. Family is brand new with a baby. They're just moving into their first starter home. And in the late 70s in my area and early 80s, it was not unusual to find carports instead of a garage in order to build the structure cheaper. And then inside, you're going to just have a sort of typical 2 bedrooms. I did put 2 baths in here, which you probably wouldn't have, but maybe, not back in the 70s, I don't think you would have. You would have had a hall bath and maybe a toilet and a sink for the master. But it's a nice enough little build. Again, like I said, I usually put in like a computer and a bookshelf. So there's some skill building. I put in a toy box for the kids as well. And what is supposed to stand in for a walk-in closet. Again, this is base game only. So I had to just stick a wardrobe into a room. That's our walk-in closet. And a little patio off the bedroom. Again, this is something I've noticed from houses of that era. is sometimes they would have like a little patio or a little place to step out of the master bedroom. And I guess the idea is you'd plant some garden stuff here. Maybe you'd have coffee in the morning. Maybe you sit there in the afternoon and read a book. I seriously doubt very many of those were ever used, but I don't know. Maybe they were. Maybe they were. You stopped seeing them after a while, though, so I think they weren't. Here in the back, I put a much larger patio off the kitchen. So that was my sort of starter home build for, I keep wanting to call it San Mateo, for San Sequoia in this neighborhood. Now, let's go over and look at our next Maxis build here. Oh, Sinlessly is American. Oh, okay. Then I guess she and Delicacy aren't related. I'm going to go with that then, that they're not related. I guess they could be, though. You could still, you know, someone in Australia could be related to an American. Yeah, they could. We're definitely like cousins, you know, Americans and the English and the Canadians and Australians and South Africans and every place that the British settled on this globe. We're all kind of like cousins, so I'll go with that. Now we have another pretty nice build here. Again, this looks pretty good from the outside. I'm actually pretty impressed with a lot of these builds from the outside. A lot of times I'm not that impressed, but these are all looking actually pretty good. This one again, actually does have the feel of kind of a modern suburban home. So I am happy about that. It's got a great setup back here in the backyard. In fact, a really nice one. Got kind of an outdoor kitchen set up here. This is obviously going to be like an upper middle class kind of move up home. You got a nice place to have something to eat. Someone did some good terrain paint here. Terrain paint is my big failing. I'm not great at terrain painting, but they did some nice terrain paint there. Treehouse to build. Some gardening. This is another big lot. I think this is 30 by 40, as I recall. Nice sort of deck here in the back. All in all, a nice outside structure. Again, I don't know if someone made this or if Maxis made it, but it looks so good. Is this going to sound bad? This is going to sound bad. It looks so good from the outside that I automatically assume Maxis did not make it. That's horrible to say. I shouldn't even say that. That's not nice. But I do kind of automatically assume that Maxis did not make it because it looks so good. Reg, don't lay your baby down in the rain again. If he does that, he is going to go. Is he going to do that? He's going to go lay that baby down in the rain. I do automatically kind of, think, wow, Maxis couldn't have made this because it looks too good. Oh, hey, here we go. Inside we go, I guess. Is he knocking on the door from the inside? I guess he is knocking on the door from the inside. So what he's doing is he's going to lay the baby down. That's good. And then he's going to take down the fucking day. Everyone can guess what kind of mood I was in the day I made that holiday. That's a custom holiday that I made. And I can't remember what you're supposed to do. Probably beat up on people or something like that. Set fire to things. Take down the fucking day. Take down the man. So let's take a look, though, at this build. He laid the baby down where they belong. Nice little sort of toddler bedroom here, which looks cool. I love that there's toys left out. Toddlers always leave their toys out. Well, so do adults for that matter. My bedroom's littered with stuff. Nice bedroom. Nice big bath. This does look more like a normal bathroom for an upper middle class house. 2 sinks, tub, toilet. The one thing that, it's got that built-in shower now. That's right. That's nice. This is the new version of that. Tub with a shower. Finally, a nice one. That does look good. We've got, how many bedrooms do we have? An office over here, which is great. Living area, dining and kitchen, and a spare bathroom. Hall bath, I guess. With a little potty for the toddler. Which that looks like a new toddler potty. That's cute. I love that. And his little, high chair over there to eat. I actually don't, with me, I always do like the other house did, and I would put the high chair up against the table. That's me. Nice kitchen, nice setup. I think what's great about this, I do like this house. I would not just knock it down out of hand. I'm going to, but it's a nice house, and it looks very modern. It looks like a modern suburban. This actually, if this woodwork here was white, I mean, you could find this literally down the street from where I live in the newest subdivision. So that does really have that sort of, I think they call it modern farmhouse, right? It definitely has that look. So kudos to them for that. What I would do though is I probably would put a pool in here in the backyard, and then I would put a door here into this bathroom. That would act as kind of a pool bathroom, so you could come in and shower off if you need to, or use the restroom without going through the whole house, right? There's not really anything though to change about this. This looks good. I love this. I love the little toddler fence. I love that, where you can wall them in, keep them in there. Of course, toddlers can break those now, right? Yeah, I love that too, though. This is cool. This is really nice. This also is very much in keeping with modern suburban building. You have kind of this bonus room, which is usually attic space that is basic drywalled out. This family, of course, is just storing junk in there, but a lot of people would paint the drywall and use it for, a place to hang out, video game room, stuff like that. All in all, a nice house. There's not anything wrong with it. Again, I don't know if maybe, like I said, how many people could have built houses like Simmers in this game? Only 3, right? There are only 3 Simmers that built 3 houses, I thought, in-game. But this one looks really good. So if Maxis built this, I would say, kudos to Maxis. They did a great job. They did do a really cool job on this house. Now, what I'm going to do is enable free build. And I'm going to place the house that I kind of built for this area. When I heard the pack was coming out, and I didn't know anything about the pack, I just knew it was supposed to be built on based on kind of the San Francisco suburban area. Kind of where the people who work for Maxis might live. And that is down towards Redwood, right? Redwood, California. And like I said, San Mateo is directly adjacent to Redwood, and San Mateo has a large bridge that crosses over the southern end of that bay. Is it the Oakland Bay or something? Crosses over that. So that's kind of what I went with. And I built a California Dreaming instead of California Dreaming. And I called it California because I was building it in Del Sol at the time, right? We're going to place this here, though. This is what I consider it's facing the wrong direction. Swing it around here. This is what I consider kind of a prototypical suburban house from the late 80s, early 90s. So again, this family, they have a little baby, in the late 70s. By the late 80s, they're ready to move up to a larger... actually, I think I screwed that up, you guys. Did I screw that up? Or did I just lose the fence? I just lost the fence spinning in a circle. Yeah, pretend there's a fence here. Pretend the game didn't erase the fence. Anyway, they've moved up to a larger sort of reaching towards the upper middle class sort of suburban home. Again, from when I was a kid, this is very much what I remember. Late 80s, early 90s. I had a lot of friends that lived in something kind of like this, with a large garage right up front, and then this sort of soaring cathedral ceiling leading up to some living space over the garage area. We're going to go inside here. I've done a tour of this, so we'll do it real quick, but I did outfit kind of a garage here. Again, this is all base game, so this is a completely base game build. I do have laundry day. I would put a laundry here, or I lost a door too. I would put a laundry here, or I would maybe build out a little laundry room here that you would pass through into the house. But since it was all base game, I didn't do that. Right. You've got kind of a sunken living room, very popular, I feel like, at that era. This idea that you're walking up and down different spaces gives it more grandeur. Still have a formal dining at that era. And this is really kind of a formal living room. You had both. You had this large formal living room, large formal dining, And then back here, we have kind of a smaller family room and then a kitchen with an eat-in space, a space where you could eat in the kitchen. They probably would have called it a breakfast room, right? Master bedroom leading to an ensuite master bath and master closet. And then back here, this was something, again, you're talking late 80s. I don't even know if it made it into the early 90s. This would have been a garden tub, you guys. A garden tub. And oftentimes it was sunken into the floor, right? Sometimes not. By the late 80s, maybe not as much as maybe in the late 70s. But it was a garden tub, and you would have like sliding glass doors or French doors or something that would, again, kind of lead out to sort of a patio. I put a fountain here, and there's a tree, right? And I guess you would lay in this tub and luxuriate gazing out on your own private Calgon garden, right? You're going to dump some Calgon in that tub. You're going to open a whole bottle of Chardonnay, and you're going to just dream yourself away into like a Hallmark movie of the week and pretend that you don't hear your toddler screaming and crying and beating on this door to be let in because he misses you and he wants his mother or his father, right? Here in the backyard, because they're upper middle class, they've lost the fence again, but they've got a pool and an upper deck area and a place to grill out and a hot tub. Upstairs is where the kids kind of are again at this point. The one baby is a child and they have a toddler as well. They have two kids now. Here's the child kind of leading into preteens, type of room. A little bit moody, a little bit darker. Here is the toddler's room, a lot more bright colors. And I think toddler, there's a science set here for a kid. Again, it's going to be kind of like, it's not even really a toddler's room because I do have a bed, a regular bed here. But my idea is someone who's maybe just aged up from a toddler to a kid. Right. And then there's a loft area, play some games and hang out, and an open view to the living room and area down below. Which there's a glitch. If you play with walls all the way up, all that stuff erases, right? Now, another kind of novelty from that era, this lasted all the way through the 90s. This here was called a plant ledge. Why? I don't know. It usually wasn't structural. You didn't need it. I did need it here in order to open up the space to the first floor. But you would, more often than not, of course, you're going to find that someone took some fake greenery, lined the whole ledge with these sort of fake green plants, often hanging over like this, like ivy. If you use real ones, you're running the risk of some major leaking. But it was called a plant ledge, and it was a really big selling feature. Like I said, all the way up to the late 90s, I can remember real estate ads having stuff like plant ledge. Like that was a feature, like, oh my God, well, I was going to buy this other house, but this one has a plant ledge. I could take all those fake plants I've got and put them on a ledge suspended above the room. So anyway, that's that particular model home for us for our late 80s. Now, the next place we'll go to is the recreational center, which I do like that as a concept. I'm not going to keep it as a recreational center. Well, I might. I shouldn't say I'm not. I might, but I'm not going to keep this style. We're going to look at the recreational center, and then I'm going to swap it out with the lot I built for 64 by 64, for that lot, what I built for that lot. And I might convert what I built to a recreational center. Right now, it is an estate, right? It's an estate home. An estate home really doesn't fit kind of here in the middle of town necessarily. It could. You can build an estate anywhere you want. It could be an old estate, maybe, like a historic old estate. Could be that. But I think if I turn to a recreational center, it'll just kind of match the rest of this sort of Spanish revival sort of stuff I've put in, right? So right now, though, we're going to look at the rec center itself, which I love this as an idea. It basically, Maxis has just made official what we have all been doing for a long time. And that is just combining everything into one lot, right? So we put the gym and we put a library and we're going to put like a park, like some play space out here. We're going to put everything we need for our Sims to entertain themselves all on one lot. That way we don't have to bounce around, right? We don't have to go through loading screens to get from place to place to place. Plus we can maximize the few lots we have as the Sims game has grown. So here, we've got a little place for the toddlers to hang out and play. We've got a kitchen here, which is nice. I mean, it's a little odd for a recreational center, but not entirely. I suppose if you were going to rent this for a party, like a clubhouse, like again, a lot of suburban neighborhoods have clubhouses, have, kitchens like this. So if you were going to do it as a clubhouse and rent it, you might need it for that, for a party. So I think it fits. You got a great outdoor area where you can, grill. And then just hangout area, place to use a computer. She's supposed to be a receptionist. I'd put more computers in here. I really only see that one. So I would probably put a few more computers in here like a library does. Now, I'm not upstairs. Oh, here we go. Upstairs has computer centers, right? And some places, I guess, to do homework because there's no computers on them. But very cool. We got a pride flag and we've got a unisex bathroom with a place to bathe that toddler when they accidentally wet themselves, right? He had an accident. I like the changing tables. Very cool. That's new. I think it's just with growing together. It's unfortunate that it's just with growing together. But it's cool. I do like it. And then a place here to practice musical instruments. So it's nice. It is a nice idea. And I like the fact, we've got a playground over here. I like the fact that Maxis went ahead and made it official what we're all already doing. Put everything on one lot. And hopefully everybody comes there. Hopefully it's a really big draw, like a park or something where everybody who wants to do these sort of activities, whether it's the gym or whatever, would show up at this lot. In fact, I'll turn the time back on. And we'll see how many people kind of show up here. But yeah, everybody would show up at this lot, and then you'd have a nice, crowded sort of urban feeling. That is one thing, again, so far, that kind of makes it feel small town as opposed to an urban center, because, again, when you pull out, you've kind of got a lot of, look at that. I mean, that's really built up. That's really heavily built up, right? But there's not a lot of people. Now, it's raining. It's raining. I could use that excuse, right? I can say, well, it's raining. Maybe that's why there's nobody here. And maybe it is, but in the end, I think not. I think in the end, that's what makes Sims worlds often feel kind of small town, is there's just not very many people around, right? Because all of this stuff, all of these people, living out there. Stop. Let's see here. Zoom out this way. What have I done? There we go. No, stop it. I don't want to travel there. Stop. I don't know what I'm doing here. I have no idea how I got on that. How did I get that guy on? Okay. Well, there we go. No, go back. I don't know what I did. Oh, let's cancel it. There we go. I'm trying to back out. Oh, screw it. Okay. Anyway, you can see we've got this huge backup, built up area. There should be tons of people walking around here. And there just isn't, that gives it a small town feel. As far as the rec center itself goes, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, it's supposed to be a modern sort of build, I think. There's not really anything about it that makes me feel like I need to keep it. That's for sure. And I'm not going to. So it kind of matches this building. I don't know. Something about the roof line feels really, I don't know. I don't love it. Let's stop dancing around the bush. I don't love it. It's okay. There is not anything so wrong with it that, I really would hate on it. It's not something like that, where I'd hate on it. But I don't love it. So we're going to take it out here, and we'll go ahead and put in the lot that I designed for this spot anyway, which is what I was going to do. I am looking for, though, actually, and I don't have it stored on this. Maybe I can go this route. We're going to try going this route. I don't have the 64 by 64 version stored on this computer. I might have it stored on my laptop over there. So I'm going to see if it's here in my catalog. It is. So we'll just go here and we will place it. We'll leave. Yeah, that's fine. Now this is Hacienda Petito. A little joke there because it's so big, right? It takes a while to place. It's a big lot. It is. It is base game only, though, and there is a 50 by 50 version of this that will, because there's no 64 by 64 lots in the base game. So there is a 50 by 50 version of it that all you really lose on the 50 by 50 is this outside stuff. So you lose the little playground I built and you lose the pool area. But all the rest of this, all the structure and the courtyard and stuff, all that remains. So if you only have the base game, literally, and only 50 by 50 lots, then you can put that in your base game. And if you have other packs, you can put it on a larger lot and, add your other packs in as you want. This is something I'm going to, it says my venue's incomplete, I don't care. This is something I'll put into San Myshuno's. I call this a little like toddler forest, right? It's for toddlers to have something to do and go play, right? So I created this sort of fantasy forest for a toddler. Come and play with the castle. Whoops. There we go. And, there's some like a little elf house, a little elf village back here, Baby Yoda. And another little sort of temple place over here, right? And a dragon. Ooh, a dragon. But he's a nice dragon. He just wants friends. So, and then the build itself is a really large estate. There's a guest house here, a garage. I've done a video of this already, of course. A large sort of public area with a very large dining room, very large living room, very large library, right? Place where you have parties and events when you are at this status in life. And then a more intimate space for the family, much smaller living area and dining area. Master kind of retreat back here. And then on this side, a sort of kitchen for the family room for the family, outdoor area, playgrounds, pools, so on and so forth. On the second floor, you've got, again, just kids' bedrooms, right? The idea with this was that it is, from a build standpoint, is that it's kind of a Spanish village set up right around a courtyard. So these are individual kind of buildings in the courtyard, like it looks like a little house, right? It looks like a stable. All the areas that have skylights like this are, the idea was kind of that they're looking into a courtyard, right? So the living area has balconies off the kids' rooms. This particular kid's room is set up like it's a little house, right? It's his little hacienda where he can play, comes in here, plays with his bear, has dinner, little living room, and a little balcony he can go out on, look down into the courtyard. Okay, so like I said, I did a whole video on this particular place if you ever want to check it out. But that is it. And that's what I would probably maybe convert into a rec center, right? Because I would have a pool for it that way. And I've already got the startings of a gym. It's got everything you kind of need. So I probably would do that. That is this neighborhood done. That isn't this neighborhood. The next one will probably go quicker because I won't be putting my own builds in it. Those are all the builds I did. 4 builds. One of them's not done yet. This one over here. I probably will do that as a restaurant. The only thing I don't like is I'd rather have the restaurant in the other neighborhood with the movie theater. So we'll see. For now, let's take Reg and Max over to the last neighborhood. This Hills neighborhood, right? Hills, I think. Oh, okay. The mission in Sonoma. Sonoma, yes, it might. I definitely took a style, right? I mean, it's definitely the Spanish revival style for that estate, and even for the other builds. The other builds are Spanish revival and a sort of suburban, take on it. It's very scaled down, but the estate is more of a full blown Spanish revival feel, and definitely I definitely was thinking in terms of a mission. Now I was thinking more of the missions in San Antonio. That's more where I live. I live, in Oklahoma, in the middle of the country. San Antonio, down in Texas, still has a lot of Spanish missions that you can go look at. So I definitely was in my head as I was building this. So I'm glad that it kind of looks like a mission. It kind of came across kind of where I was going. So we're going to go over here to Eucalyptus Lane. That is residential, empty lot. I think it's 20 by 30. I mean, basically all the lots were 20 by 30 except for 130 by 40, 250 by 40. No, maybe 250 by 40s, and a 30 by 40, and the 64 by 64, I think. Eucalyptus Lane is empty, and I don't have anything for it. So we're not going to worry about it. We will take a quick look and see, is any of this stuff reachable? No. No. Again, to me, this doesn't really, I mean, I think it's supposed to be the idea of a suburban neighborhood. The street's kind of walkable for a little bit. It doesn't look like a suburban neighborhood to me. I mean, kinda a little bit. It does. There's one of our lots there. Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like a suburban neighborhood, but not really. Can we go to that park? Now that's kind of, I guess we can. So we can access that park somehow. Yeah. Got a little play park over here. Love these new ground covers for these parks. That is so cool. That's a house there. So that's our second house. And where's the third one? No, I saw that one. Where is... No, I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter. I can go to the world map and find it. I was trying to find them in relation to each other. Okay, it doesn't matter. Let's start. Shall we start? Let's go ahead and start. We're going to tour this one here, this kind of bigger one real quick. Let's visit this residence. Again, I think this is supposed to be kind of their idea of a suburban neighborhood. To me, it looks like a suburban neighborhood maybe made in the 20s. Yeah, I mean, you had suburbs that far back. They were just starting in the 1920s. All these houses look very craftsman style to me. And they look, this one looks a little bit more maybe modern than some of them, but like that. I mean, this one here next door, which is just a shell, but I mean, you can tell, I mean, that looks very craftsman style. Like maybe it was built in the 20s and then at some point, it was kind of modernized. Someone built in the garage. Again, in the 20s, it wasn't uncommon to find a garage on a house, a single car garage, but they built in the garage, and it's not really a new suburban neighborhood. It's an old neighborhood, right? Let's take a look at this place though and see what we've got here. We will knock on the door. Love these new windows. And again, this has a very, I will say this, the style seems pretty cohesive with a lot of these builds. So there must have been, I guess maybe there just isn't a lot to use, maybe as part of it. They're trying to use a lot of the stuff from the new pack. I haven't looked at the build stuff in the new pack yet, so I don't know if that's pretty limited. I kind of like it though. That's not really a slight to say that it's kind of, cohesive is good, that it has kind of a look. I mean, I will say that does make it feel more suburban, even if it's a 1920s version of the suburbs. This feels more craftsman style though on the inside. Let's take a look here and see what we've got. I mean, it's nice. It is nice. Got a nice little yard here in the back. Got some toys for the kid. Love that. Good kitchen, base game kitchen. mixed in with some of the new stuff. Love this refrigerator. Let me just say real quick, before we go any further, I love this refrigerator, and I love this stove, and I love this vent hood. I mean, this is not a furniture tour, right? This is just to look at builds in the world, but I absolutely love those items from the new pack. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Those do look very retro, but they look like a modern retro. They look like the sort of stuff you might see at, say, Williams-Sonoma or something like that. Sometimes they'll carry like kitchen appliances, you know, and it has a very Williams-Sonoma look to me. I adore it. I adore those pieces. Those can go like in every house I have probably for the foreseeable future. I also do like this sort of stuff too, like this frame. This is a very nice frame. Again, has a very craftsman style, has a very, you know, old look to it, but it is a very nice build piece. We've got a living room here, formal living room, you know, off the doorway, which is fine. Big entry hall, maybe too big, maybe a little bit too big, but it's nice, good setup. Got a bedroom with ensuite, zoom out here, and a bedroom with an ensuite. So we have actually this bedroom here does not have an ensuite. Again, if it were me, I'd rearrange it and I'd make access to this bedroom or this bathroom from this bedroom. So that, because it's so close. So every bedroom might as well be kind of an ensuite. It's just that this particular bedroom shares it with guests, right? Right. You could also maybe, I think you could carve out a hall bath in this hall, right? I think you could carve out a 2x2 hall bath in this hall. Still have a plenty big entryway, maybe a little hall here back to this hallway that would lead to the kitchen. But you know, yeah, that's probably what I would do. And just give them all en suites. Why not? You've got 3 bathrooms, 3 bedrooms, give them all en suites. The bedrooms are really big. Particularly this one is really big for a kid. Now, typically, you would find this as the master bedroom, right? But I'll say this. In my own house, my son has the master bedroom, and I have a smaller bedroom. When he was little, he loved trains. He loved to build train tracks. He loved to build trains. There were train tracks leading out his bedroom door all over the hallway, right? All over the place. And I thought, you know, I'm only in my bedroom to sleep. I literally only go in there to sleep and maybe change clothes. That's it. Why in the world do I have this huge master bedroom? And he has this much smaller bedroom when he needs the floor space. So that day, I switched all the furniture around, right? Put him into the larger bedroom. So he got this big floor space, right? It's a little twin bed in there. He could set up giant train cities. And that's still the case today. I mean, he doesn't play trains anymore. He's over his Thomas the Tank Engine phase about, 9 years ago. But I still just leave him in that room because he can use that space now as an office. He likes, he has a setup kind of like I do, a computer and a desk and stuff like that. And I have a smaller office here that I use anyway, which is actually off of the smaller bedroom. So I also like it for that reason. But anyway, long story short, this does make some sense to me that, yeah, you put the kid in the bigger bedroom. They need that space to play, right? Why not? Why not? If you're like me and you're just sleeping in that room, you don't need any more room than just for a bed. This is a nice house. It's not huge. It's not huge, but it feels more like a typical suburban kind of size, though, for what it is. Except for the 3 bathrooms. 3 bathrooms is a lot for a suburban. But there's nothing wrong with it. The bathrooms fit really well, and I don't have a problem with there being 3. Especially if someone came in and maybe just kind of added them after the fact. Like this is an older house from the 20s. Yeah, maybe late 20s, early 30s, and so they rehabbed it. All in all, a nice place. It will stay the way it is probably for a while because I won't have any reason to change it for a while probably. So let's see here. There was another one near here, right? Okay, over here we've got, whoops. So we've got a little sort of salt box type cottage, kind of a Cape Cod sort of cottage. Again, this is why it looks small town, because it is a Cape Cod and it looks like a 1920s sort of craftsman bungalow. Maybe even earlier than the 20s. Almost like a 1910 era house. Sears and Roebuck used to sell houses like this. Now, they would have sold this part, and then this side over here, this kind of, it's not really a lean-to, so we won't call it a lean-to. We'll call it an add-on, and this looks like it would be an add-on too, although this would have been original to the house. Sears and Roebuck used to sell houses like this in a catalog, and they would literally ship you everything you needed to build the entire house, right, in boxes. You know, pick it up at the train station and put it on your lot and build it. So that's definitely what this, oh, it's called Sequoia Cottage. So there you go. That's definitely what this kind of reminds me of. No one lives here, so we'll have to go through build mode to see it. We'll look at the outside here. It's, you know, it's a cottage. It's charming. It's charming. It's like I said, it looks like a little craftsman cottage. It definitely feels like The Sims, right? It definitely feels kind of like The Sims. Well, you know what it feels like? It feels like Brindleton Bay. It feels just like Brindleton Bay. And in fact, I made a cottage a lot like this for Brindleton Bay. At least from the exterior. I didn't include an add-on like that. But this part I did. Which is not to say anything, because like I said, this is a common style. Yes, I made one like it for Brindleton Bay, but it's because I was copying that style as well. I was copying that style from the Sears and Roebuck era, and that's where I got it from, a Cape Cod. It's so common. It's so well known. They still build Cape Cods in my area, 2-bedroom Cape Cods, maybe not currently, but in the last, you know, in this first 2 decades of this millennium, they did. There was a period where some builders in town were trying to build smaller starter homes for people. And there were a whole bunch of these sort of 2-bedroom Cape Cods built in different neighborhoods, right? New neighborhoods, mind you. New neighborhoods, new suburban neighborhoods. So not in this style, really. A much simpler style. Not really so ornamented. Not the sort of nice ornamented look. Like I said, we'll have to go through build mode. Now, one thing... Can you go here? I'm going to send Reg up there on the front porch. One thing that looks a little odd to me, right off the bat, is... Let me see when he gets here. The windows look super high. I mean, the windows are like super, super high. I don't even know. I mean, that's a little odd. That's a little odd. I wonder... Well, I didn't place this lot. That shouldn't affect it. The windows are really, really high. I'm going to just say that. The windows are super high. I probably would move those. We have a ton of Sears homes in my hometown. Oh, no kidding. We do too here, especially around campus. There's a lot of Sims homes. Or, I mean, Sears Sims homes. Yes, there are a lot of Sims homes around campus. In the older areas, like I said, 1920s, 1910s, 1920s, you would see a lot of this, a lot of a 2-bedroom craftsman-style bungalow, right? Let's go down here and take a look. Now, so we move in here. Again, like I said, I don't know why the windows are so high. These windows are not that high in here. I think those are going to be more normal. But I would definitely move those like there, you know. I don't have move objects on, so I can't just adjust it more than that. But I definitely would move them like that. That seems a bit odd. But you know, what can I say? Let's take a look here. This has a look, obviously something that's been rehabbed if it was a Sears Craftsman, right? And it loses the Cape Cod feel once you get inside. Normally Cape Cod, you would enter and you're going to have 2 bedrooms here on the side with a bathroom in between. Or maybe on the back, the 2 bedrooms on the back with a bathroom in between. And you'd enter into the living room and then the kitchen past that. Here on this add-on, probably would have like a large dining area, or at some point they added it as a living area and this became the dining room, right? That's the way it would be. So, and the stairs would be in the center part of the house. So the stairs would be more like, I can't put them there, but they'd be more like right here. So that when you entered the front door, you were going to see the stairs, right? And in fact, my grandparents, now that I talk about this, and I built this house, my grandparents' house was that sort of style house too, where you walked in. Now, in their case, it was a little bit different because there was like living room, parlor, bedroom, eat-in kitchen, right? So the parlor had a door that went just into the parlor because that would be just for guests. This area over here had a separate door that went more into like the family living room and the kitchen you could eat in, or you could eat in the family room area. So it was a little bit different, but they had a house just like that. And so when you came into the parlor, you know, there would be this small parlor here, and then there were stairs here that led upstairs. Take a look upstairs. This is a relatively small build, so there's not a lot to look at. We've got a nursery over here and a bedroom over here. Again, if it was set up true craftsman style, the bedroom would be a lot closer to the nursery with the bathroom in between, which, again, is how I would probably redesign it, simply because you're going to have easier access to the kid, right? Upstairs, we've got another 2 bedrooms and a bath, which there's a lot of bedrooms in this house. I will say that for such a small footprint, it's got a lot of rooms. And it's got a nice bathroom up here. You can tell it's not a Maxis build because the bathroom is a regular type of bathroom. Looks pretty good. I mean, as far as like the floor plan on the second floor, again, if it were me, I probably would just do a bedroom here, which would have been like an original bedroom, and might leave this as an open loft for a play area or something. I don't know. I might redesign it a little bit, and I would save some money on the wall placement that way. So I might have more money to play around with. But it's not bad. Like I said, there's a lot, and I don't know if you need 4 bedrooms with this size house. This is a starter house. I think you'd probably need more like 3 bedrooms anyway. And if you had 2 kids, they would share, and it wouldn't be that big a deal. One thing that's a little bit odd, again, there's not a whole lot of skill building stuff here, which maybe is just on purpose, you know, so you can add your own. It looks like this is going to be a house for 5 people, baby, parents, 2 kids, and yet there's only 2 chairs at the dining room table. I probably would put 4 chairs there. Like I might grab a couple of extras, like put one here. Put one there, and they fit even without move objects on. So you know there's enough room there for it, right? Bring baby a little bit closer. Come and eat with the rest of us, baby. There we go. So I might do that. Like I said, actually, if I had this, I probably would redesign it as a typical 4 square type of house. 4 rooms, stairway in the middle. This is an add-on. I'd do something like that. All in all, it's not too bad. The windows though are really odd. Let's see here. Another delicacy, little Simsy. So is this Delicacy's house or Little Simsy's house? Was another Delicacy, was that the last house? It did kind of look like her style, the last house, and this one's like Little Simsy. Little Simsy, I guess. Okay, well, you know, it's okay. I would move the window down like that. I would move the windows down because they're really high up. We're going to do that like that. Now, one thing it does do, I can see where when you move them down, it does kind of intersect the stove there. But chances are, if it were me, I would just, I wouldn't have the same sort of window in the kitchen either. I would have a window, but I'd probably do like, I don't know. Let's see here. Base game. Oh, not that really, but maybe this. You know, so I do like a couple of windows like that in the kitchen. Does that line up okay? It does. It's a little weird being over the stove like that, so I'll probably just take that out. Just do one over the sink. And that's a sink style window, right? Because then your cabinetry can go above it without as much problem. But all in all, it's not too bad. It is, like I said, I would redesign the interior a little bit, make it more like a traditional craftsman bungalow. And I moved all the windows down. I did move all the windows down. Yeah. See how he stands there now? See? He can open those windows now, right? Without doing this. Like, trying to close it later. But yeah, that's fine. Nothing wrong with it. Now let me see if I can find. Well, the windows were wrong with it. No, otherwise, nothing wrong with it. That's cute. Look at the rainbow. I love that. That is kind of cute, like a little rainbow shining down on this little craftsman bungalow. Okay, so I'm going to see if we can find this last lot. One lot left. Let's take a look here. See what we got going on. Do. I actually had Max on his. He's mad. He's tired. Oh, poor little guy. What's that? Food time too. Oh boy. Okay. Is he feeding him? Oh, he is feeding him. Oh, look. There we go. Oh, that's so cute and sweet. Look at that. He's going to hold this little bottle. Oh, that's adorable. I'm going to have so much fun playing with. I've wanted Max as an infant for so long. When they made Max a toddler, I was so thrilled. Well, they didn't make Max a toddler. When they brought toddlers in and I could make Max a toddler, I was so thrilled. Now with infants, I'm so thrilled. I wanted to have Max is like, and he's going to burp him. Look. Oh, there you go. And he burped. Oh my gosh. This is the first time I'm seeing so much of this. I was out of town when it launched and I have not had time to go through like any of it, right? So where's our last house? Over here. It's a big house. Okay. And I've wanted to have Max as an infant for like just forever. So I'm really, really glad that we have infants now. That is like just worth. Oh, okay. Okay. So Little Simsy was the one we were on. Last one was Delicacy. Okay. Cool. Got it. Do. And here we are. This is a pretty large house. I think this is the one on the stream, right? The Michelsons, like in the trailers and stuff, maybe. I don't know. But I remember the name of the Michelsons and the family that lives there. So let's knock on the door and go visit them. Oh, and wait a minute. Actually, I'm going to... Well, we have a chance. Poor little baby. Poor thing. We're going to fix his needs. Cheat need, make happy. There we go. We're going to go on in here. Got a little miscreant there. Who's he? Aha. And as soon as we knock on the door, we're going to bring him inside. Can I bring him inside? Yeah, there we go. We're going to bring him inside and we're going to take a look at this house. Now, one thing I will say right off the bat, I love these columns. I love this like planter here. I love it. I love this door. So like all this stuff I do love. See, look at that again. That window is like way up high. So is this a Little Simsy house too? I'm missing something. I thought they all only did one build, but apparently like Delicacy, I guess, built half this town. And given the placement of the windows here, I'm going to guess this is a Little Simsy house too. I'm going to guess. I don't know. One thing I will say right off the bat is there's too much roofs going on here. I'm feeling like there's so many roofs here. This is like torturous. This just looks like there's a lot. There's so much. I don't know what you could do without doing a full redesign, but I would take this one out. Do you need that one? You don't need that one. And I think I would angle this up so that it's the same angle at least as that. And maybe play around with it a little bit so the whole thing matches level-wise. And I don't know, you guys. I would definitely change the roofs. The roofs are like, just like I said, I don't know. I don't think I might have to change the roofs. Let's take a look. The outside's cool. I like the outside. Nice backyard. Oh, I love that they made their own little splash pad for the kids. Super cool. And I love the treehouse. Not built yet, but I'm going to love the treehouse. I'm so excited for that. Got a great little deck out back and telescope and some nice terrain painting. Go down here. This is a big place. We've got kind of a, I guess, a teenager or a kid's room. Cool graphic. Love that. Love that one too. Got the baby's room. Oh, there we go. Reg put the baby in his crib. Right. He was tired. He's having that toddler's tearing stuff up again. Oh, that's an infant, isn't it? I think that's an infant because the way it's sitting. It is an infant. Oh dear. Someone's in trouble. We got a little office here. This is cool. I like this dual office setup. Nice master bedroom. Now, one thing I'll say is this is probably more realistic for like an existing home, like a retro home that someone has come in to live in an older neighborhood, because it only has this one bathroom up here, and it's not a ensuite bathroom with the bedroom, and that is much more. And now it's huge, it's giant, but it is much more keeping with that era, right? Because you wouldn't have had a whole bunch of ensuite bathrooms unless maybe you lived, I don't know, in like a billionaire's estate or something like that. So the bathroom is really big to me, but otherwise I do like the fact that there's only one and that it's not ensuite. It is keeping with the style, right? Down here we've got another really big bathroom. We've got a kitchen, kind of an eat-in kitchen. Does give the impression of maybe a little rehabbed at some point, right? Maybe in the 70s. It's got these kind of 70s cabinets. Formica and that, whatever, that had those kind of weird flat front type things, A beautiful refrigerator and stove, though. The Michelsons must have bought that. Nice dining room, formal dining. Again, it has a lot of touches of a retro kind of place, right? Right. Nice living room. Again, except, God bless, those windows are high. So a big place, nice big kind of suburban from the 20s place. Can't beat the view. What I would do is I'd probably put an apartment building here with condos. Because look at that view. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. I'd love to see that at night. See it all lit up. So great view, nice neighborhood. Really cool. It's got this kind of, what's that? That's the lot we started on, I think. Got this kind of, a cool sort of, walkway around it. So, not a bad place. Like I said, the roofs are just like, oh my Lord. I really want to kind of fix those right now. I'm not going to fix them right now, but Lord. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. What went wrong? What happened? Okay, I'm over it. I'm not going to say anything else. I'm going to move the windows down. I'm going to fix the roofs, and then I'm maybe redesign the inside a little bit. And then, okay, but Reg and Max, I'm going to send them home. We're going back to San Myshuno. I got to get them set up for the... yes, it is. Oh, I think, so it was Little Simsy. I figured it was because the windows were so high. But, Lord, that roof. Oh my. It is workable. It is workable. Great terrain paint. Now, I do love the way it looks like it's got this sidewalk and a place to park a car. I really do like that. I mean, so it's got pluses. It does. And I'm sure that everybody in the world loves it. Let me just say that. People love her builds, right? They do. People love her builds. That's why she builds like in every single pack. Maxis knows people love her builds. And so, yeah, I would say that. People love it. So, I don't have to love it for everyone else to love it. And you can always change it. That's part of the fun of The Sims anyways, changing builds and changing things around and kind of putting your own touch and your own stamp on stuff. So there we go. Reg and Max are headed home. Like I said, this is like their late home. This is not the house I'll be using for growing together. It'll be the same space, but it'll look like it did when Reg first moved in and Max was an infant. And we're going to work on this park over here and turn it into a growing together park and have a whole storyline built around the people here in the Spice District as the Spice District is growing into what it becomes. Because growing together, I see, is not just we're raising an infant and we're a family raising an infant. I see growing together as a lifelong process. You're always growing, and you're always growing together with other people, or maybe even maybe even animals, maybe even your pets. There are things that influence and affect us all through life. And we are always growing. Hopefully we're always growing, right? Hopefully we're always growing together. And sometimes neighborhoods grow with us. And that's kind of the story coming up with the Spice District, is how it goes from being kind of a marginal neighborhood, kind of a transitional neighborhood, to the Spice District that we all know and love, with its festivals and what will be a beautiful park for the community over here. And I hope that you will join me for some of that. In the meantime, please hit like, subscribe, and notify. I will do probably an edited version of this, although maybe not heavily edited, because I don't know what, I wouldn't be able to cut out a whole lot. And then the live stream itself will be available later. If you ever want to watch another part of it, I will do maybe another live stream later tonight. I kind of had this idea. I've been doing the fantasy save worlds, right? And this idea of doing Windenburg, but God, it's huge. It'll take me like forever. It'll take me a day. But I thought about doing it as a drinking game, right? Grabbing my alcoholic sim from the Oasis spaceport. Not my sim. It belonged to someone else. It's just the one I ended up using. And boy, does she have the juice on her back. So I thought we'd grab her, and then every time that she takes a drink, which is every time she sees a bar or a half-empty bottle laying on the sidewalk in the gutter, we could take a drink. It would not have to be, an adult beverage. It could be anything you like, chocolate milk, strawberry milk, whatever. So I might do that a little bit later. I got to see if I've got something to drink besides water. But in the meantime, thanks for watching now. And I hope that I will see you later because eventually I'll do it, for the fantasy save. And of course, for growing together with Reg and Max. Thanks for watching.